MEF02, MEF Introduction continued. The focused energy activity that occurs as we combine many of our individual life energy dynamics, our thoughts, together can take position anywhere along the chakra system. Every chakra can think. The position of the energy activity of our real-time thinking is determined by the purpose of the thinking. Making thoughts starts off as a laborious business in the beginning because all of the life energy dynamics we start life with are very big and spin slowly. As we grow up, we learn to make more and more thoughts and also learn to refine smaller, faster life energy dynamics that aren't nearly as arduous to think with. The Single Minds of Self section explores how we learn to make the life energy dynamics of our conscious thoughts as we grow through a traditional human life. The Single Minds of Self looks at how we develop our mastery with the human chakra system. Abraham Maslow looked at this idea about the growth of our minds with psychological perspective in his hierarchy of human needs. This psychological theory is a quiet foundation of many systems of Western education, and it also follows the technical movements of our life energy dynamics more accurately than many. Perception. Perception is the first stage of our continuous creation of mind energy. All of the life energy dynamics we've learned to refine in this lifetime, that is, examples of all the thoughts we've ever made, vibrate as part of the billions of life energy dynamics in our perception biofield. We commonly know this ever-present energy as our subconscious mind. The amplitude of the majority of perception life energy dynamics vibrating in the biofield at any moment determine the level of perception information that is retrieved in that moment. We can most easily understand the technical effect of the natural levels of perception using the analogy of digital photography. If we think of each pixel of a basic digital image as representing one life energy dynamic, one frequency, one potential human thought, we can begin to see how our mind collects its general perception information each moment. This is, of course, the worldview we base our creation of consciousness on. With this analogy, we notice that perception is not based on a particular view, that is, thoughts of a particular meaning or idea. Technically speaking, perception is based on the saturation of life energy dynamics in the biofield. The more perception life energy dynamics, the clearer the perception. We create perception life energy dynamics through experience. This reminds us that our mind never stops learning to create new thoughts and learn new levels of perception to base thinking on. Synchronization. When the energy of our biofield is structured correctly, our perception life energy dynamics are able to operate like sophisticated technical sensors that scan the true local environment for evidence of other life energy dynamics, our traditionally known about sixth sense. The 2004 film What the Bleep Do We Know noticed this structural effect in our mind energy and described it as putting your mind in the position of the observer. LEP calls it synchronization. While in the synchronized position, our flow of life energy is streamlined and operates cleanly just as it was designed to. The perception life energy dynamics extend freely into the environment, and they also fade naturally. This fading effect allows the perception life energy dynamics to calmly reduce in amplitude and as a result calmly perceive through to the fifth dimension of the immediate environment. The outer layers of the synchronized biofield have become short enough to vibrate with universal amplitude. This is the layer of energy we then use to activate our 8th halo chakra, our overdrive gear of mind energy. People who can see auras will often see the outer layer of a synchronized biofield as a golden outline. Synchronization allows our mind to passively perceive the 5th dimensional oneness energy. This is the position where we connect not only with intuition, but also with our eternal soul self. Information perceived from this position is the absolute truth of the moment. Premature consciousness, unsynchronization. When our biofield of life energy is not structured naturally and flawlessly, unsynchronized, the life energy dynamics coming out from the body skew direction. This skewing of life energy dynamics causes them to collide with one another, rather than impacting with the real and true energy dynamics of the current environment. When this happens, the perception life energy dynamics still encounter other life energy dynamics and collect the information. However, the information is now worthless because the energy dynamic we actually perceived, collided with, didn't come from the true current environment. It instead came from the life energy dynamics of our own experiences and memories vibrating in the perception biofield. As we grow up and begin to spend more and more time with unsynchronized life energy, we teach ourselves that the perception information we now collect as an unsynchronized grown-up is most often just our own memories. This is when we develop for ourselves a standardized worldview, a group of ideas which we believe are real and true, and which will then become the static basis on which we'll indefinitely create all of our regular future mind energy. Relaxing our mind and allowing our life energy to synchronize peacefully then becomes nothing more than temporary recreation. The technically true perceptions we collect to create our mind energy while in this restful meditative state become easily dismissed as nothing more than imagination when we unbalance once again and remember the ideas of our static worldview. This concept becomes the most difficult part of life energy for many people. Believing that these synchronized perceptions of our own mind may indeed hold more validity and truth than some of the familiar ideas which we once thoroughly checked and carefully selected to become part of our life's dormant worldview, can feel somewhat challenging. For this reason, the only way to convince yourself about which mind is right is to prove it to yourself. Do some experiments. Make decisions when your mind energy is balanced and synchronized in the moment, and make decisions when it's not. Try this anywhere in your life, and then watch which decisions turn out to be good ideas that bring about positive repercussions, and which decisions turn out to be nothing but regrets. The decisions don't need to be enormous. You can begin by training yourself with simple things like a quiet game of solitaire. It doesn't really matter whether you win or lose a simple card game, so it's good for practicing decision making with very minor consequences. Use the simple videos in the Mind Energy Factory series to help you develop your own introductory understanding about how our human mind energy technically works. Once you have your own inner understanding, you can then take charge of your mind energy and step forward to begin realizing all that quiet potential that vibrates within each one of us.